All right, traders, welcome. This is Jim Simmons with Tickblaze, and I appreciate you taking time to join us. Today, we're going to walk through the Alpha Quant Syndicate, or AQS, and we'll frame this correctly from the beginning. This is not a presentation about buying another algorithm, loading it into a chart, hoping that it performs the way that you expected or anticipated. We're going to show you how to build a complete algorithmic trading operation around the systems. So most traders don't have an access problem. They have plenty of indicators and algorithms and backtesting and platforms and trading tools. The problem is that most traders are trying to assemble all of those pieces together without a professional process behind them. So they own the software, but they don't have the research, the optimization, deployment, risk management, accountability, everything that's required to operate a full trading business. So AQS solves that problem. It brings assessment, algorithms, research, optimization, deployment, and coaching all together under one operating framework. So you're not left trying to determine which systems to run, which systems to trade, which markets to trade, what settings to use, or when those conditions change. There's an entire team and a defined process behind the operation. So we've been around trading and prop trading a long time. We've watched traders repeat the same cycle. Here's how it probably sounds familiar. They buy a tool, they get excited about the initial results, they hit a drawdown, they lose confidence, they move to something else, and that cycle repeats. Now, AQS is designed to break that cycle, replace the random decision making with a structured and repeatable business model. So we have a lot to cover. So keep the questions coming throughout the event. I'm happy to interject and answer questions as I can. The team is also here to help while we move through the presentation. And we'll leave time at the end to ask more questions if you'd like to. And be sure that this fits what you're trying to do as well. Okay. So before we get too far in, we do need to cover risk disclaimer. Trading involves risk. Nothing in this presentation is any guarantee of profit. Nothing we show should be interpreted as investment or trading advice. You are responsible for your own decisions, risk tolerance, the capital that you put at risk. Performance, backtests, hypothetical results, or trade examples are for educational purposes. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. If we are all good on the disclaimer, give me a yes in the chat box. We'll keep moving forward. Good. All right, let's get into it. So here's what we're going to cover today. First, we're going to look at why owning algorithms is not enough. Then we're going to get into the hidden cost of trying to build and operate everything on your own. After that, we're going to walk through the AQS framework, 7 pillars that support the entire operation. We're going to take you behind the scenes so that you can understand what the Quant team is actually doing, how the systems are researched and optimized, and how live deployment works, how all this connects to prop evals and payouts and long-term scaling. So by the end of the presentation, you should have a clear understanding of what separates software from a complete algo trading business. Okay, so you'll also know what the next steps are, obviously, to getting involved. So let's start with the most obvious advantage of automation, the consistency of execution. Okay, human traders, they hesitate, right? They break trade plans. They panic when a trade moves against them. They interfere with the stops. They miss valid opportunities. They change decisions under pressure. I know none of us have ever done that, right? Even experienced traders deal with this because traders are human. Knowledge does not eliminate emotion. Even having a few good days does not eliminate emotion, right? A machine doesn't have that problem. It executes the rules that it's given. It doesn't wake up frustrated from yesterday. It doesn't become overconfident after 3 winners and go big. It doesn't size up after taking a series of losses. It doesn't decide that the next setup looks different because the last trade lost. It can manage and monitor multiple markets, repeat the same process over and over without fear, greed, hesitation, or fatigue. So that sounds pretty good. The objective here is not to remove the trader from the operation. Most traders think, oh, if I could just get myself out of the picture. And yes, algos will help you do that, but it can't remove you completely. The trader is still in control of which strategies to deploy, risk capital, market selection, deployment decisions. The objective is to remove the unnecessary inconsistencies from execution. And this is where automation is extremely powerful because it allows the trader to move away from reacting to every candle toward managing a rules based operation. The machine handles that execution and the repetition, and the trader and the team focus on the higher level decisions that determine whether the operation is healthy. Okay. So let's talk about the dream. Most traders who are interested in automation, they want to trade with algos. They're trying to escape the same problem, right? You're tired of the emotional decisions, the constant chart monitoring and inconsistent execution, missed trades, dependence on one setup, and repeatedly starting over after a setback. They want to trade without feeling like every result depends on whether they're sharp, whether they're confident, whether they're emotionally stable that morning. Does this sound familiar? What they really want is a portfolio of proven systems that operate under defined rules. Reduced screen time, multiple strategies working together, scalable growth, and enough structure that they can trust the process, even if one system enters a drawdown, right? The That's the algo dream. It's not a magic bot that prints money when you disappear. It's a structured, scalable, machine-powered operation that can be measured, managed, and improved. Does that sound right? You guys with me so far? Sounds like what you're looking for. The strongest part of this excuse me, this model is diversification. When your entire trading business depends on one strategy, one market condition, you are vulnerable. The portfolio combines breakouts, trends, reversals, liquidity, range, volatility, all these different systems so that you're not relying on one narrow source of performance because yesterday was different than today. It's very different than today. Tomorrow will probably be very different from today. So AQS is built around helping traders move toward the portfolio model where you have systems that can perform in all different situations. Does that sound like what you're looking for? Give me a yes in the chat box if that's you. This is sounding like, yeah, this is what I'm looking for, right? Okay, good. So I know we're speaking to the right crowd, right? We're preaching to the right choir. All right, so let's go over some core systems here. So the one and done algo. This is a strong system, but it still requires some operational process. The strategy is built around opening range. It doesn't have to be the opening range. It could be any time range. But the opening range doesn't always perform the same every day. Some sessions are expansion and continuation. Others are probe one side of the range, trap the traders, and then reverse. The volatility changes, the market structure changes, the quality of the breakout changes. So owning the algorithm gives you the execution logic, gives you the ability to backtest, which is also great, but it doesn't automatically tell you what environment supports the breakout and what market and templates are performing best based on those different conditions. You might have a template that works most of the time, but it's when it doesn't work that causes those drawdowns and causes the trader to abandon that system, right? And I know some of you, I'm speaking the language because you've been there. You're like, wow, this is working really great, really great, really great. And then all of a sudden, something changes. You're like, I'm just losing and losing. And after 2 to 3 days of losses, you've already thrown in the towel and you're saying, screw this thing. I'm on to something else. This is ridiculous, right? We've all been there. Myself included, for sure, I've been there. Not necessarily with any particular system, but it happens because everything is part of a broader, big picture view. The team can, inside the AQS, can help you determine which versions, markets, sessions, settings are producing the strongest validated results. The live room then gives the traders practical guidance on when and where to deploy them. And that's the model that we're looking at throughout this presentation. The algo is the engine. The research, optimization, deployment, the risk framework, that is where the team comes in. Okay. So one and done, great system, but it's not as simple as just turning it on, right? And that's where the team comes in. Speaking of trying on your own, right? What is the real cost of going it alone? This is the cycle that breaks and traps a lot of the traders. They buy algos, they chase clean back tests, they test some random settings, they switch a system after the drawdown, and they buy whatever looks good in the most recent presentation. And it feels like progress because they're adding something new, but the operation itself never advances. The cost of that is much larger than the software itself. There's lost time, failed evals, unnecessary drawdowns, constant loss of confidence that comes from never knowing whether the problem is it the strategy, is it the settings, the market, or is it the trader themselves? So AQS takes the opposite approach of that. The systems are selected around clear objectives. The algo is matched to the market and the condition. The validated templates are used for deployment. Multiple systems are combined into a portfolio. The risk is managed across the entire operation rather than just one system or one trade at a time. The problem for most traders, if we were to be honest here, it's not that you need more algos. The problem is that you don't have a complete operation around the algos that you already own or the systems that you already own. So that's why adding another system is not going to fix the underlying issue, right? We have some great systems. Look, we sell systems. I get it. We have some really good stuff. But is the next thing really going to be the one thing that is going to turn your trading all completely around? There's probably more involved, right? There's structure, tools, they're all good things, but they can create confusion. And confusion is where most traders are at. They know a lot of systems, they have a lot of strategies, they know a lot, but they get confused on, okay, how does this actually piece together? I got all these puzzle pieces, but they're all separate, right? So that's where this whole syndicate, and that's why we call it a syndicate, will help you fix things. Let's look at the CWAP algo. Great algo. It's actually based on anchored VWAPs and structure breaks, tons of merit. But what conditions warrant running this system? What bar types, timeframes, market, session, risk, parameters? Any small difference in that configuration can create completely different performance. And I can tell you from even personal experience, optimizing this system and having a really great back test doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to perform moving forward. There's more to it than, well, why did it perform well during that back test? What were the market conditions that it performed the best in? Where did it take losses? Why did it take losses? That's the value that, AQS, you don't have to determine all those things on your own. The quant team can help you determine what markets, conditions, and when to run the systems, right? Let's see. Sure, I can understand that. So George is bringing up a really good point, and I want to address this because it is important. And this just further states exactly what we were talking about. So those of us that bought the algos thought there would be better follow-up support on community pages and things like that. So why isn't that happening? One, it's proving the point that owning an algo is not necessarily enough. And two, it proves that traders are too busy trying to do it on their own. Why not reach out and ask for help? Why not develop a community thread where the traders can chime in? Because one trader on their own, probably not going to get very far. Multiple traders working together in harmony could be better, right? But that's where this program comes in to take that 10 steps even further beyond that. Because, a team could give a template out and say, okay, go ahead and run with it. But there's still more involved than just running even a template. And that's where this comes into play. It's knowing how to create those templates and when to run them, right? But I'm all for community as well. Absolutely. Get the community involved. And this is an invite to all of you. Go to the community and help each other out. Absolutely. There are traders that know how to run these systems very, very well. So you don't have to go it alone. But this is where this program comes in, right? So thanks for sharing that. So anyway, CWAP, great algo, great algo. And this is where we go into, again, owning the algorithm, not enough. This is one of the most important slides. Algorithm provides trading logic. It automates entries, exits, follows the predefined rules, produces historical data, removes manual trade execution. Those are very valuable capabilities, but the algorithm will only operate as it's configured. When you deploy those templates, it's going to do exactly what the template says, and it's going to do exactly what the logic itself was designed to do. It doesn't research, it doesn't tell you which bar type to run it on, it doesn't tell you which conditions are going to be best for it to be deployed in. And the backtest can be great, but the settings could be even over optimized. We don't know whether the market's changed or whether the strategy belongs in a certain portfolio. It doesn't create your prop scaling plan. It doesn't manage risk across multiple accounts. It doesn't tell you when deployment should be on or off or long or short. That's the role of AQS. The team researches, validates the systems, builds the portfolio framework, provides live implementation guidance, adds personalized coaching, monitors risk and performance, and continuously improves deployment process. So the algo powers the trades, the AQS builds the operation around them. And that's the difference between owning a piece of software and operating a professional algorithmic trading business. The software is important, but the infrastructure is what determines whether the trader can use it consistently and survive normal drawdowns, because drawdowns do happen, and how to scale it intelligently. And that's a huge component to why we use portfolio frameworks, so that it's not all on one system, right? So here's another system, the Wicker Algo. This is one that we're using inside the AQS portfolio of systems. But notice that we're not presenting these as an isolated isolated algo or tool. Every one of these is going to represent a different type of logic, a different way of extracting the opportunity from the market. No single strategy is going to dominate every environment, right? So a strong portfolio that could include systems that do great during expansion, or another that's built around liquidity, another that handles trends, another that's better suited for reversals. And the team's responsibility is to understand how those systems behave individually and how they interact when combined. So things like correlation and drawdown overlap, session exposure, market selection, total risk. And that's where the portfolio level work is. The algorithmic trading begins to look like a business rather than just a collection of trading bots that are all doing something different, but not necessarily working together in harmony. Okay, so we've understood at this point the problems that we face as traders, and we understand what we're up against, right? But I don't want to sit here and talk about problems all day. You guys don't want to talk about that either. So this is the AQS framework. It's built on 7 pillars. Every pillar is here to provide traders a solution, and this is based purely on where traders typically fail at in the process, right? So how do we create something that's going to help the trader succeed and overcome those things? So the personalized development side, that includes quant assessment, strategy mapping, tailored education roadmap, 3 private coaching sessions, systematic frameworks, and full access to the Tickblaze Academy. Okay. On the implementation and scale side includes live quant deployment rooms, access to every current and future Tickblaze algorithm. So anything that gets released algo in the Tickblaze marketplace, it's included. You have a dedicated optimization team, evaluation and prop scaling frameworks, and continuously updated templates. Many traders have been asking us for that specifically for years. Now, before you think, well, that's easy to do, just give us a template. I'm going to show you what goes into testing these systems and providing those ongoing templates. and you'll see how valuable that is. Okay. The power, though, is in how these all work together. Education without implementation, for example, leaves traders understanding but struggling to execute. Software without research leaves the trader guessing. Optimization without risk controls can create impressive backtests and then fail multiple accounts. Coaching without data becomes opinion. AQS connects that entire process. Assessment determines the direction. Algorithms provide the execution. Research validates the opportunity. Optimization preps the systems. Deployment turns the work into action. And coaching and accountability, probably the most important pillar of this whole thing, keeps the trader aligned with the plan. I know none of us traders have ever broken our plans. That's why we call it a syndicate, okay? Because you're joining an operating environment with specialists, and these aren't just anybody we just bring in off the street. These are traders who specialize in working with algos in a system, and we're all here to support you on that same objective, okay? Yeah, and George, thanks for chiming in again. So George saying I spent tons of hours optimizing and backtesting and different bar types and still getting inconsistent results. Yeah, absolutely. How many of you, let's just pause there for a second, because I know George is not alone here. I know there's a lot of traders that are in that same boat. How many of you felt like that? You just test and test and test. And look, something might look really, really good. And you run it on Monday, and Monday it does okay, and Tuesday it does worse, and Wednesday it does worse. And then you're right back in the same boat. Yeah, got some traders chiming in saying, "Yeah, that's me." Yeah, yep. Been there, done that. I've been there, done that. I get it. I completely get it. So does that mean that means the algo is broken, right? Not necessarily. Okay. The algos are good systems, but they're designed to do what they're designed to do. When you think about a trading strategy, a complete trading strategy, the signal is one component, right? We talk about this a lot, and I'm glad to pause here and go through this because it's important because all of us traders get frustrated by the same things. We do the testing, you run it, it's you get it. But the trade strategy is more than just a signal, right? We talk about this all the time. Right time, right place, right direction. So the signal is the timing. The placement and direction, that's not always built into the algo itself. Like if you look at a sweeper algo, it's going to trade the liquidity sweeps, right? But you have EMAs that can help you understand which direction to trade them. But what about location? What about market context? Is the market going sideways? Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it in a rotation? Is it in expansion? Is it in balance or imbalance? And what stage of that is it in, right? So that's where this goes a step further and why sometimes you can have a really great back test, but really what matters is that you can actually deploy it in the right conditions. And that's where the team comes in to help you understand that. Does that make sense? That's where we take it a step further. And if you'd like, we could even look at examples of that, right? We have some trades that we can go through and look at. So we'll do that too. Sweeper algo, great system, demonstrates how market conditions can affect performance. Liquidity behavior creates great opportunities, but the way that the sweep forms can change with volatility and market participation and session and environment. That's what we talked about. At what stage are we at in the regime? Are we in long trending? Just because we're long and trending doesn't mean we're going to keep being long and trending. At what point does that start to deteriorate? At what point does the market start to show signs that it's going to rotate? That's where, another set of eyes can really help for sure. So let's talk about pillar one, strategy mapping. This is where everything starts. This is your foundation. A lot of traders choose randomly. They buy without a clear objective. They follow education that might not match their experience. They build portfolios that don't fit their capital or temperament. They, do what another trader is doing, but that might not fit you. Just because we trade one and done doesn't mean you're going to. Just because we trade a trend breaker doesn't mean you're going to. So it starts with understanding you as a trader. What markets do you want to trade? How much time can you commit? Are you building around a prop environment with payout accounts or personal capital? How do you handle drawdowns? Do you prefer short, fast systems? Or do you prefer systems that don't take as many trades, but you hang on to them longer? What kind of experience do you have? These questions affect the entire operation because if you're uncomfortable holding positions for a long time, you shouldn't be forced into something that's going to require you to execute a lot of trades. Or that, sorry, that vice versa. That, if you're not comfortable being in a trade forever, then you're going to want short trades, is what I meant, right? A trader can't, monitor throughout the day, is going to need something different from somebody who can be around the markets all day. So this assessment is probably the most important part of this. And that is to help create you a personalized education path, a live trade room path, system and software mapping, objective alignment, infrastructure. Everything is built around you and your goals. So when we look at what's going to work for you, it has to be based on you. So without that, you just, try, throwing darts at the problem and missing the board, right? Trend breaker. Speaking of trend breaker, this is a great example of what market conditions they need to be appropriate on when to run this system. When are you running it with the trend, and when do you run it against the trend? Just looking at, let's look at some of these trades. We'll break them down. So in this environment, I can't look to the left and see what was happening, but what I can see is that we have a higher low here and a break. So this is a really good opportunity to go long, assuming we don't have any major resistance here, right? And then what happens here? Chop, 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 tag, go. That's a pretty good sign. Now, assuming there's something else that's here that's saying this is our resistance, then we arm the algo to go short because the market environment is telling us to do that. This is actually the same. No, it's not the same image. Interesting. It looks very similar at first glance. Here's another one. This one came in lower high retest, broke the low. And, when you see this where it's like chopping and then it comes down, it came back up and it's sweeping this is our sign that, okay, market's rotated, time to shift it the other way. If we're in a sideways moving market, this is perfect. We're trading short off the highs in a ranging market. If the market's doing this, we're looking at, are we in oversold territory? Are we starting to see the market put in divergence? Are we seeing anything that tells us the trend is ending? If not, then we send it through to a smaller swing size so that we can start taking these breaks in line with the trend. And that's how, even within the same algo, you may have multiple different ways of deploying that same algo. So, and it all depends on market context. And so the back test is step one. The optimized template is step one. Step two is knowing where and how to deploy those. Let's go to pillar two. Pillar two is coaching. This is probably the most valuable, well, one of the most valuable. I would say that owning all the algos is pretty valuable. But private quant coaching. When traders work alone, they make deployment decisions alone without review. They repeat the same mistakes because they don't know that they're making them or why they're making them. They lose the accountability. They don't often have a clear action plan on how to change their performance. And that is dangerous with automation because any small configuration or risk mistake gets repeated over and over and over and over before it gets detected in a lot of cases. So AQS, there's 3 private sessions. Each has a specific purpose. The first is your roadmap session. That's where the assessment is translated into actual operating plans. So we do that assessment, and then during that first coaching session, we're going through that and identifying what your path looks like, and that's when we're giving you the path, what to focus on, where to go, and all of that. And then stage two, that's the second coaching session. That's where you go through looking at the strategy itself. How is it doing for you? How are you doing with executing that system? Are you deploying it in the right conditions? How's the testing going? Do you have to, are you doing optimizations by this point? Really, what that's about is, can you as a trader execute how you are supposed to execute? Now, thankfully, the algo does a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to executing in the market, but are you deploying it in the right circumstances, right? The third coaching session is all about accelerating your performance. So once we know that you as a trader can follow a framework, then it's a matter of understanding, how do we optimize the framework? Because we can't optimize a framework if the trader's not following it. How would we know if it works? The trader don't know it works because they never tried. They're all over the place, right? So step one, which way are we going? What does the strategy need to be? We will help you put that together in that session. Step two, can you follow the plan? Are you being held accountable? What do we need to fix in terms of execution? And then step three, how do we make it even better? Okay, so coaching is not there to make every decision for you. It's there to shorten that learning curve, catch any mistakes early, and keep everything based on an evidence and execution based plan. So the good coaches, the coaches that we have, we can identify these things that you've been struggling with for a long time, and more importantly, we can help you overcome them. Okay. Here's some trade examples. We'll just look at some executions as we're going through as well. There's a one and done. Love this trade. Everything about it looks great. We've got market kind of chopping around. Context on this trade looks great anyway. That's a one and done trade here and another one and done trade here. And, we could see that the market came down, broke, came deep, back into resistance. Great trade opportunity there. So, but one and done, really good system. So good question. Robert's asking, is it feasible to do both at the same time? I think so. I think there's advantages to having both. Certainly you get extra coaching, which is great. The ATS side, which is the Alpha Trading Syndicate, can be more focused on foundational stuff of the trading, helping you with the risk management side. What type of strategies work well for you? And then you could take that into AQS and say, now what kind of automation could help me with this process? Yeah, it's a lot. It just depends on how much time you have to commit to. I think if you're a full-time trader, yeah, it's feasible. If you're trying to do it an hour a day, I don't know that I'd recommend it. It might be too much. Might be too much. So let's look at pillar three, trading frameworks and Quant Team. Another very, very powerful one. So we have a dedicated Quant Team. This is, again, one of the largest value drivers in this program. When traders test alone, back testing every algo, experimenting with settings, struggling to distinguish quality from noise. And most traders, from what I've seen, and this is just based on my own perspective and may not be entirely accurate, it's just my perspective, is that traders way over optimize the systems. And then when the market changes, they have to keep doing it over again. The problem is, what happens is you look back 2 weeks and you back test based on those conditions. And for those 2 weeks, the market might have been doing this. And then you run it the next week. And the next week, the market does this. What happens? Sad face, right? So then you go back and you optimize again. And you go back and you look at 2 weeks. Well, now you have mixed results because this first week looked like that. The second week looked like that. And then when you go to run it, it looks like that. Totally different. So then what happens? You go back to the drawing board again. You get the idea, right? What happens is you're chasing market conditions that no longer exist. You're looking back to see, well, what were the market conditions like there? Okay, it looks really good. Let's deploy it that way. Well, the market conditions have already changed. So how do you know what to run and when? Well, that matters. The way that you would do that is you'd have a system that is trending based. You'd have a system that says the trend is defeated and going the other way. And you'd have another that goes, oh, okay, I'm just going to short the high and buy the low in a ranging market. So you may have multiple templates that do multiple different things, right? Anyway, the whole idea behind this is you don't have to do this. How many of you would love to never have to optimize another system again? Anybody? Some of you are like, I'm sold. Just, I want the program. I don't even care what else you do. Don't make me optimize. I don't ever want to do it again. We have an entire team that is doing this for you. Okay. Now, those of you that all said yes know how much work goes into optimizing these systems. Okay. You have to be very technical and understand the algo inside and out. But not only that, you need to understand what the algo is designed to do and what the market is designed, what market it's designed for, right? So if we go into, I'm going to show you something here. Let's go into testing. Okay. So here is our testing. One and done. Wicker algo, Wicker for prop, the new hat system coming soon. CWAP, sweeper, trend breaker, Valdiv, stacked signal, not done yet. Auto divergence, not done yet. This is one trader, and this is Burzins, our room instructor. And then we have Jeff. Jeff's been doing this a long time. He ain't here, so I'm gonna say all sorts of nasty things about him. No, Jeff's amazing. One of the smartest guys I know for sure. He's very, very intelligent. Um, he'll never admit it, but he is. So he's got a whole bunch that he's tested, right? So what happens is our team is going through and they meet multiple times a week, and then they go out into their little algo testing bunkers and they test all these different systems and all these different parameters and different time frames and different bar types and different time of the day, and they do all these things so that we can find what is the best possible way to deploy this in two different ways. So the first way is kind of what I would call semi-automated, and those that have been in algo events with me know that that's a preferred method for a lot of traders. Semi-auto automation. What that means is that you are deciding when to turn the system on, when to turn the system off, when to go long, when to go short, when to trade this template versus that template, and so on, right? That would be kind of like a semi-automated approach. The automated approach would be you just deploy the system, you go and you back test, you look at the market conditions in the back test, you understand it enough to just go, okay, I'm good. I'll just go ahead and deploy it because I know the market conditions match. And you run a bunch of systems. You might have, 6 different systems that you're running as a portfolio, and there's your basket of eggs. There you go. It's a pot of gold. So here's all the systems, and you as a fully algorithmic trader might want to just deploy the systems that way. You say, I don't want to really sit in front of the screen all day. I just want to, run a bunch of systems for a couple hours and get what I get and go to the next day, right? And so you might have 3, 4 algos that produce some good profits and a couple algos that take some losses, and overall you're profitable and you're happy as can be. The team is doing all of this. Okay. They have templates for you that you can turn on and off, and they have other templates that you just let them run. Okay. So all of that is covered as part of this system. We're talking, I mean, it's 2 full-time staff doing this. So, and then Sean's getting in on the action too. And, so there's that too. So tons of effort, tons of time gets put into this. Most traders, they don't have that kind of time, right? And some of you are like, oh, I've put that kind of time in. Yeah. Still maybe not getting the results. And I laugh about it because it's a better way than just feeling, terrible about it all the time. It's easier to just go, yeah, that's not fun. I'm glad it's over with. Let's be done with that, right? Let's move into trading smarter, not harder, right? So every algorithm that we trade is back tested. The systems are evaluated. The systems are optimized across different conditions, and then we actually trade them and we show you which to trade and when. So, and it's not just about what's the best equity curve, what's the best profit factor, what's the best win-loss ratios or win rates. There's so much that goes into it. And so good thing is you don't have to do that. Here's another trade example on the CWAP algo on MNQ. We actually had a really good trade on this today too. Let me see if I have it. This is one of those trades that just really right time, right place, right? That's what we talk about. Let me open this thing up. Let me see. Do we have it here? I do. I'm going to show you a screenshot from earlier today. Let me just copy this and I'll see if I can paste it on here. Nope, it's not going to let me. That's okay. Here we go. Let me show you. So this is a trade that we took in the AQS trade room. We took this today. So this was, obviously NQ, it's doing its bearish thing, came back into striker, clearly that held, came down even further, and here's a beautiful CWAP trade, came right in, right to target, took out target two. Well, this is actually a trailing stop. One of the reasons I love this especially is because not only that it's a brilliant anchored CWAP trade, which CWAP is just a different version of VWAP. But I love the fact that there's a trailing stop in here. Between you and me, that's one of the secrets to algo trading. Trailing stops. Anyway, let's go to pillar 4. Pillar 4 is a live trading room. Now you think, well, why would you need a live trading room to run algos? What are you going to do? Just sit there and watch them? No. So we do a lot more than that in the trade room, right? So this is where education becomes deployment. A lot of traders, understand the algos, but they don't really get comfortable running them, and they're guessing which systems and so on. So the room is closing that gap. This is where you see now in real time which systems we're deploying, what direction we're running them, and why we're running them on a specific market or template, which systems we're running together. And you can learn that workflow so that you understand at some point you're not going to need us. That's the whole goal, right? That you can do this completely on your own. It's not designed to necessarily create just blind obedience or dependence on an instructor. The idea is to teach what professional implementation looks like through the repetition. You understand how the systems behave, what is appropriate for risk, where do you deploy things, and you understand when those market conditions change. You'll see the instructor turn systems on and off throughout the day based on where we're trading in the big picture, what the market context is, and all of that. And so those systems are deployed in a way that is going to support the big picture, the system, the deployment, portfolio, all that type of thing. The hardest part of algo trading is not executing the trade. The hardest part is knowing where to run it, why it's running, how much risk, and when do we change it. Okay. And now you might be thinking, well, that all sounds well and good. And we don't have a huge track record yet because this is a new program. But so far, so good. So we've got, what is that? 44 trades. It's not a ton yet. It's totally not a ton, but we're practicing what we preach, 88% blended win rate across the systems. And, if you ever want to see the full trade picks, they're all here too. So you can go in anytime and you see the trades that come up and they're logged. There's a one and done. There's a one and done. Yeah, it looks like a one and done. It looks like that was a stop out. There's another one and done. There's a trend breaker. This one was a stop out. Yeah, we take stops. Trend breaker short. Here's a one and done. It's another stop. They do happen. Here's a trend breaker short. Another one and done. You get the idea. They're all in here. So we're going to just keep doing what we're doing. It's working. So we'll keep logging the trades and we'll keep taking the trades, and you can be in there with us, knowing exactly when to run each algo. That's awesome. It's like having a fantasy football team with algos and the right calls for each play. And here's the beauty of it. If your wide receiver sucks that day, you get to change him out with a different one after the fact. Yeah, it's like having someone show you exactly which systems to run but you don't have to do any backtesting. You don't have to do any optimizing. You don't have to guess which systems to run and when. You get all of your desktops made for you. We literally hand them to you and we go, oh, by the way, we're going ES long on this algo, deploy it to go long. You check a box and go, okay, cool. So then when the market comes into that location or whatever signal it's going to trade, it automatically enters the trade. So even if you're worried about, well, maybe there might be a delay and I don't know if I'll be able to catch the trade in time. No, there's none of that. You literally have the same desktop we do. And we're showing you, hey, we're triggering this one to go short. Here's why. Turn it on. That's it. How many of you think that's like the easiest thing you've ever heard? Anybody? I'm like, that sounds pretty good, man. Just tell me, just push this button. That's what we all dream about as traders. Just push this button. Some of you are like, I'm really good at pushing the button. The problem is, the button doesn't always work for me. And can I connect to your copier? Yeah, exactly. That's what this program is. 100%. This is what it is. So this is finally closing the gap to where you don't have to know everything. Your knowledge is great. It'll help you, but we're going to give you more knowledge. More importantly, we're going to do it with you and pretty much do everything for you aside from turning your algos on for you. That's it. That's all you have to do. Everything else is done for you. Okay. Beautiful thing. More trade examples, trend breaker, short, really good follow through on that one. Or no, that's a trend breaker. And then this one, another trend breaker off a Renko chart. That's a nice trade too. Very nice. Let's look at something that is probably important to everybody. Well, what about, you're running this algo and that algo? What if I don't have those algos? Well, we're going to make sure you have all the algos. Some of you have spent some pretty good money on algos. Here's the beauty. If you've spent good money on the algos, it's going to work out in your advantage, let's say, okay? Because certain of our, anyway, talk to the team. They're going to hook you up anyway. But let's talk about algos. Imagine having every algo that Tickblaze has ever built and owning it as part of the program. And imagine that anytime we release a new algo, because we sure aren't done yet, um, you're going to get all those algos without having to pay anything because you're in the AQS program. That's why it's called a syndicate. The idea is you are in the club, don't have to pay for anything. All the algos anyway, you're going to get access to them. There are certain indicators that we use as part of the program. We'll make sure if you decide to do this that you'll get access to them or get discounts and things like that. Yeah. Anyway, so you no longer have to chase a new release. If you like what it does, great. You talk to your coach and say, "Hey, I really like this one. I think this is going to really help me. What do you think?" And your coach is going to say, not so fast. Pump the brakes there, hotshot. Let's focus on what we're doing now. Or they're going to say, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Why don't we switch this algo for the new one? Because this is really going to be killer for you. So you're not on your own. You have an entire team supporting you throughout the entire process. So, but all the algos, every algo now, every algo we build, and there's no expiration date on this program, by the way. This is not a quarterly and annually. No, it's a perpetual access. Amazing. Very much amazing. So there's no limitations to what, okay, we're going to trade this algo and that algo and this algo. Okay, great. You have access to all of them. Okay. Another trade algo or another example, and you're looking at this. What is going on with these bar types? What the heck? These are really weird Renko bars. Yeah, that's what they are. When you get this big wick, it trades these. So you get the big wick, there it goes. Get a big wick, there it goes. When should you trade this system? You want to trade this when the market is showing a lot of momentum. And the beauty is it's literally built to do just that. Now there's certain times you might want to turn it all off. But even if you look at this, like, okay, you got in here, your stop was up here. Yeah, it's not great, but you still have tons of downside available to you. Anyway, evaluation and payout framework. Any prop traders in the house? This is where we connect the algo side of trading to prop trading. We will actually work with you on what your risk side should look like. Now it's up to you to, decide on that risk, but we can help you. We can help you decide what makes sense for you. We can't give you the risk model because it's your risk, but we can help you. Okay. Um, when it comes to prop trading, passing is not what you're looking at. Payouts are, right? Passing an eval, getting a payout account, that's great. That's a starting point, but payouts are a different ball game. So AQS is going to help with the evaluation frameworks, portfolio risk across multiple. How do you trade multiple systems at the same time and not get crossed up? Do you want to trade copy? All of that. We can work with you on that. Um, Payout focused scaling models. Do you want to add accounts? Things like that. So we can help you with all of that. The first step, understanding the rules. How many of you have ever oversized a position before? Everybody's like, no, I don't oversize a position. How many of you think that if I went and looked at your trade plan right now and the last 10 trades you took, would I tell you you're oversizing your trades? Yeah, some of you are like, oh yeah, that's me. So we're going to actually program the algos. We're going to show you how to program them to take the right amount of risk every day. And then we can even show you how to turn your accounts off after you hit targets or max losses so that you don't keep trading. How many of you need that? Some of you are like, man, I need that shock collar where anytime I do something I'm not supposed to do, you push a button and it just zaps me in the neck or something. That'll keep me accountable. So we evaluate the risk. We evaluate how much you want to make because this business is about making money, last I checked. And then we can help you put together that plan. Okay. So this is all built into this as well. Another trade example. This one is the sweeper algo. It's a nice sweeper trade. What should we be doing in this environment? Probably trading off of the highs ideally. There's kind of a big bar size for this environment, but anyway, it worked out. It was a quick target, so that's why it worked. Good stuff. AQS Academy. Anything that you could ever want to know about the trading foundations, about structure and liquidity and oscillators and indicators and all of that stuff, divergence, and it's all in there. So the good thing is first off, there's tons of information in there. Are you going to watch all of it? No, nor would I suggest that you do. What we're going to do is during your assessment, we're going to help you figure out what is it that you already know and what do you need to learn, because knowing what you don't know is that's kind of the hardest part, right? So we're going to help you identify if there's anything that you need to go through in there on any of the foundational stuff is really where this is going to come in the most. Okay, so the good thing is you learn exactly what you need to learn and nothing more, nothing less. Okay, and this is all included as part of the program as well. So you've got beginner, intermediate, advanced, all that stuff's in there. So no more watching random YouTube videos hoping you learn something valuable. Here's another trade example. This is another sweeper, looks like. And we've got the sweep of the low here, and there's the trade back up into the highs. Love it. Good trade. So we've pretty much covered everything by this point, right? These are a little bit of a longer presentation on these. So thanks for hanging in there with me, and I appreciate you guys staying interactive throughout. But what does this ultimately solve? You're reclaiming your trading business. No more random system buying. No more deployment confusion and over optimization, oversizing positions. No more disconnected software guessing which ones to run and where. No more emotional interference because we're going to give you a roadmap that you follow. We're going to create it with you, not for you. We're going to create it with you so that it's actually for you. Um, you know, why does this say? Oh, this is like if you were, yeah, these are problems. Okay, I'm like, no performance guidance. No, of course we do. Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. So if you want these things, if you want to reclaim your trading business and stop dealing with these type of things, this is where the system comes in. And again, it's literally you come in, find out what works for you. What time are you trading? What systems do you trade? Are you trading prop accounts or you're not? We do an assessment with you. Then we go through, we hand you a plan that says, here, do this. And then you come into the trade room and you turn your system on, long, short, whatever. That's it. That's all you need to do. Earn while you learn. So while you're going through learning your side of what you need to learn, you're coming into the trade room and copying trades. And you don't even have to enter the trades because you have algos to do it for you. It's a beautiful thing. So what happens if nothing changes? That's a question that only you can answer because I don't know your situation. Only you do. But if you keep doing the same thing you're doing, what's going to change? It's going to stay the same, right? So think about a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, 3 years from now. Where are you at? This is something that I encourage from a psychology standpoint. What would the future you tell you to do right now? Future you. Get into the mindset of future you. What is future you telling you to do? Right? Where are you going to be? For many traders, the answer is continued more blown accounts and failed evals and indicators and restart and lost time, missed opportunities and FOMO and all of it. The cost of waiting is not necessarily just money. It's the time that you invest in the same curve and the same roller coaster and the same confidence that's going out the window, and not just your confidence, by the way, right? Some of us have families that are like, hey, how's that trading going? Oh, it's coming along. No more buying new stuff. You don't have to. So obviously there's some work involved with this. You have an assessment, you got to go through the coaching and follow a roadmap, but it's a lot easier than doing all that stuff on your own because you would have to do it on your own anyway. So it's a lot easier when you've got a team on your side. To this day, I've never heard a trader tell me, I'm a successful trader, been doing it a while. I did it completely on my own. Never learned anything from anybody else. Did it completely on my own. Yeah, right. It's never happened. Never will. Time is money. Time is finite. Money isn't. What do you mean money's not finite? It's not. If anybody here thinks money is finite, then you have a limiting belief. Because you can go into the market, assuming you know what you're doing, you can go into the market and you can extract money from the market anytime you want. That's what this program can do for you. Money is not designed to be finite. Time is. I can't give you more time, but we can show you how to make more money. Okay. Good stuff. So what's included? Roadmap. And there's valuations next to each of these that you can follow along. 3 performance coaching sessions. Weekly algorithm template updates completely done for you. Live trade room. These are perpetual, by the way. This is not an annual program, like I said. Tickblaze Academy included. All of the Tickblaze marketplace algos. Evaluation and payout framework. Bonus. Custom software. Workflow design. Designing your desktops. Figuring out what works well together. All of that. Accountability. Most of you, if I asked what was the number one thing you need on this list, most of you are going to go, I need that right there. That one. That's me. I need that. Because when I'm left to my own devices, I do stupid things that I know I'm not supposed to do, but I do them anyway. So anyway, VIP trader community, an entire community of traders who can connect, and it's all private and you can communicate with each other. And look, I recommend community no matter what, because trading is a lonely gig. But anyway, we have a VIP community included. So this is everything you get access to. Some of you are looking at these numbers going, yeah, done that. Yeah, that one. Oh, yeah, sure. I've definitely spent all this money. Some of you have. Some of you haven't, but you're still going. You're trying your best to get there. You don't have to spend all that. If you were to buy all this stuff one at a time and scale into it, yeah, you could spend up to $83,000. There are traders who have spent more. You don't have to. It's not even close to that, obviously. But this is just to give you an example of value. You see the things retail versus regular price, Here's the thing about this program that I think really stands out among everything else. If you show up and you do what is involved in the program. You complete your assessment, you go to your coaching sessions, you follow your roadmap, you participate, you're doing what you can to be successful, you're implementing the framework and staying accountable to your coach. If you do those things, we are so sure that you're going to find value in this program and you're going to make progress. I can't guarantee timeframes. I can't guarantee how long it's going to take you to get there. Everybody's on a different part of that journey. Some traders are very advanced. They're going to get there quicker. Some traders have been trading for a decade. They're going to get there quicker than a trader who's been there for a year. Okay, I can't guarantee what that time frame looks like, but what I can guarantee is that if you do all of these things, you will find value and progress in this program. And if for any reason you show up and do these things and you are not happy and you are not seeing progress, we will give you 100% of your money invested back to you. Okay. That's how sure we are that this works, because we've seen it work. How do I know it works? Because it worked for me. I was coached by Sean when I first started running the trade room. I was decent. I was a decent trader. And I got a lot better real quick because I had to. Nothing like having your boss coach you on trading. Anyway, yeah, it works because the same framework that helped me as a trader is built into these programs. And yeah, it's just a different version of execution versus manual entry versus algos. But algos might be a little easier. So this is what the program is, 100% money back guarantee. So if you are serious about your success, we can help you. If you want success, we can help you. If you believe in your ability to be successful in this program, we can help you. That's it. That's what's involved. So at this point, what's your next steps? Your next step is to schedule a strategy session. Some traders have spent more money than others. We may or may not have better discounts available for you and coupons and things like that. Okay. So the bottom line is we're going to take care of you and we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that we can help you get into this program if you want it. And you have to be willing to show up. You have to be willing to be committed, and you have to have the right attitude that says, I will be successful in this program, because you will. As long as you do what is, what's involved. So sound good. So Pete has posted a link in the chat box. You click that link, it's going to take you here to this beautiful site and this video. You should really watch this video. It is a really good video. Who win? Whoever did the voiceover did a great job. Anyway, this tells you more about the program. Again, just kind of recaps everything that we talked about. I don't know why. Okay, you can schedule here. So that's okay, perfect. It's at the top of the page too. So you click any of these and you're going to do a quick overview of your trading, tell us a little bit about you, and then you book a free strategy session. Anyway, I don't know why I'm scrolling through this so fast, but click this link, enter your info. It's going to have you fill out some real basic questions, and then you can schedule a time to visit with our trading team. Okay. Excuse me. The people that you talk to, they understand trading. They are traders. And so you're not just talking to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. For those of you that know us well and have been around, you know that we are traders first and foremost. This is built by traders for traders. So that's what's involved. Okay, so that's your next steps. I'm going to put a poll in the chat box. The only thing I ask of you is answer the poll. Let us know. Are you booking your strategy session with our team? Do you want to chat with somebody a little bit first before scheduling? That's fine. If you do, put your phone number in so we can contact you. Okay. So that is there for you. Ideally, if we could have everybody please answer the poll, this helps us understand where everybody's at. And look, this program's special. And it's not just that we're biased. I've never seen anything like this in trading, and that's why we built it, because it doesn't exist. We're not here to build things that everybody else is already doing. What's the point? You could just go do that. This is built to be different because it is different. And so if you're serious about trading, you're serious about winning, serious about making money in the industry, this is where you belong. Okay. And we're not doing any giveaways today. Just we just do that on the launches primarily. But but we do appreciate your time that you spent with us and appreciate you coming out and checking this all out. Hopefully you learned something along the way at the very least. And hopefully we can schedule some time with you and find out what makes you tick as a trader and how we can help you. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Anything that I haven't answered yet? Anything that I can answer for you? Anything at all? We're in sort of a a very unique time in trading. I would say it's the best time to start trading or to be involved in trading because the technology that we have available today did not exist when I even when I first got into trading. Um, there's so much available now. It's amazing in the prop firm world and so much opportunity that it's just a matter of how do you harness it, right? How do you catch the wind, put it in a bottle, catch lightning? I don't know. Good stuff. Um, very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are able to do with this. Very much looking forward to it. It's a new program, so we don't have tons of stories for you yet, but I assure you those are coming. All I can tell you is we're committed to it if you are, so we can certainly help you. Good deal. Excuse me. Anything else I can answer? Anything at all? Anybody? Anybody? Good, good. How many of you guys have been tuning into Tradecraft the last couple Fridays? Anybody here tuned into those sessions? Those are free trader education. We're not just here to sell you stuff, though we are a business and we will sell stuff, but we do also offer free education. So if you haven't checked it out yet, Dan's been there. He says it's the best thing he's ever done in trading. I didn't say that. No, it's a really great opportunity to learn. So we run a class every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's completely free. There's no agenda, I promise you. No agenda. We come in, we learn about risk and psychology, trading foundations, trading strategy, chart execution, all of it. It's every Friday, 10 a.m. And as long as you keep showing up, we're going to keep doing it. So come out. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain. And there's literally no agenda. We're doing this to give back. This is my way of, as somebody who's been trading for 18 years, I've learned a lot. I've learned how to put those things together to be successful as a trader. So I'm trying to pass that along. So come out and join us if you haven't already. Completely free. The funny thing is, I think if I charged for it, more people would show up. It's strange how that works, but it's true. But yeah, so just letting you know, come out and join us. Very cool. The We are building a page right now too for the website so that you can go in and see the recordings anytime you want. But come live because we have a lot of fun and you're going to be missing out. So, all right, I think we're good. Um, I don't I don't see too many more people still answering the poll, so I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and conclude the event here. Thanks so much for tuning in and being a part of this. We appreciate it as always. Um, thanks for everything. Thanks for being a part of the community, all that. If we can help you with anything, reach out. Otherwise, we will catch up with you in the strategy sessions. So take care, everybody. Cheers for now, and we'll catch up with you later. Take care.